Welcome to the June wine tasting for the Spring Arbor Sommeliers. This month we'll be visiting the beautiful wine country of California to sample Petite Sirah in a blind tasting. Before we get into the history and characteristics of Petite Sirah, let's debunk one very common misunderstanding. Petite Sirah is not the little sister to Syrah or the Australian version of Shiraz with a Z. The grapes are related, and botanists actually think Syrah was one of the parent grapes of the new Petite Sirah grape, but it is not the younger version of Syrah, and it's also not spelled the same. The Rodney Dangerfield of wine. Petite Sirah is better known as the Rodney Dangerfield of wine. Just like the famous comedian, this grape variety can get no respect.
Boy, that's the story of my life. No respect. I got no respect.
Now that we've straightened that out, let's get to the history of the grape. The Petite Sirah is actually a grape called de Rief. It was discovered in France in the 1860s by the French botanist François de Rief in his greenhouse in Toulouse, France. In his greenhouse, it is believed that the Syrah vine planting crossed with a planting of a Pélorusine vine during pollination, and the resulting grape, a small, intensely colored berry that was high in tannins and acidity. Naturally, being the one to discover the new grape, Francois named it after himself. Hey, wouldn't you? In 1997, the University of California at Davis concluded from DNA fingerprinting that Syrah was the source of the pollen that originally crossed with the Pélorusine flowers. Today, the Petite Sirah grape is almost non-existent in France, with less than 1 hectare planted. The United States leads the world with 3,700 hectares, followed by Australia, Chile, Mexico, South Africa, and Israel. And it's to be noted that United States and Israel are regarded as the best producing Petite Sirah regions in the world. De Rief, or Petite Sirah, was introduced into California by Charles McIver when he imported it in 1884 for his Linda Vista vineyard, which was at the Mission San Jose in Alameda County. Petite Sirah took center stage during Prohibition. Most people didn't realize that wine consumption in the US actually increased during the Great Experiment. This was through bootleg sales, but also because millions of families took advantage of a loophole that allowed up to 200 gallons of legal homemade wine per household. The rough, tough Petite Sirah grape survived the long railroad trips necessary to get the grapes to the East Coast and home winemakers across the country. So valuable was Prohibition Petite Sirah that in 1934 it accounted for 4,400 of Napa Valley's 11,000 acres. The total for all of California was 7,285 acres in 1938. But Petite Sirah went into decline again in the post-war years when winemakers realized that it was not really Syrah. Do you see where the I can't get no respect angle here? Poor, misunderstood, mislabeled Petite Sirah. But don't feel too sad for Petite Sirah. They have their own support group called PS I Love You, PS being for Petite Sirah, at www.psiloveyou.org. Suisun Valley, located in Fairfield, California, has claimed and trademarked the title as the Petite Sirah capital of the world. Suisun Valley, which means west wind, and nearby Green Valley are next-door neighbors to the world-famous Napa Valley. Suisun Valley may have claimed themselves as the Petite Sirah capital of the world, but when you look at the acreage by county in California, San Joaquin Valley holds 3,255 of the 7,992 acres, followed by San Luis Obispo at 1,723, Sacramento at 1,268, Yolo County at 835, Sonoma at 656 acres, and Solano County, or Suisun Valley, is actually in 6th place with 245 acres. So these 6 counties make up almost 80% of the U.S. population of Petite Sirah plantings. The dominant flavors in Petite Sirah are sugar plum, blueberry, dark chocolate, black pepper, and also black tea. The color taste profile will be heavy fruit, high body, heavy tannins, medium acidity, and an alcohol content of 13 to 16%. It will be semi-dry. And again, the original region was Montpellier, France, and the popular regions are Napa, Sonoma, Lodi, and Suisun Valley. I hope everybody's learned a little bit more about Petite Sirah, and I wish everybody the best of luck in tonight's tasting. Cheers. These are the wines: Oak Ridge, Terradora, Suisun, Petite, and McNabb. There are starter wines, appetizers, and dinner. It was time to sit down and taste the Petite Sirah. And finishing in 5th place, Suisun Grand de Reef, which was followed by Petite in 4th place, Terra d'Oro in 3rd place, Oak Ridge finished in 2nd place, and the winner for the evening, McNabb. Well, there you have it, and we'll see you next time on the Spring Arbor Sommeliers.